Okay, so I genuinely thought I would never expect to say this out loud. But then again, we're in Taco Tuesday's second term, so anything can happen. But Pew Research just published a survey of 36 countries, and globally, more people trust Vladimir Putin versus Taco Tuesday. I mean, seriously, how effed up is that? But it isn't a small poll either. I mean, I think 42,000 people responded. But the great thing about this, Canada went from 83% confidence in the US down to 35 in less than 4 years. And we're not alone. I'm going to show the complete chart later. But seriously, can the world really blame anybody for not trusting the United States? I mean, this is the front lawn of the United States, the greatest country in the world, the land of the free and the home of the algae, which has now unfortunately killed some ducks. But this is a good representation of the downfall of the United States. And to be honest, I'm not surprised with the Pew Research numbers. Well, actually, I kind of am surprised. Surprised about the number of countries around the world that don't trust the United States. So we're going to talk about this in this video, but before I start, I just want to give an update from Art Mfg and his promo code. I've been putting it in my description. I'll talk about it more at the end of the video, because I do have an update I think the community would like to hear. Alright, let's get started on this article from the Pew Research Centre, and it's titled, Taco Tuesday Gets Negative Reviews Internationally as Viewers Say US is a Reliable Partner. Now, I'll read this out for everybody, but there's going to be some charts, so if you are just listening or visually impaired, I'll do my best to describe for you. And also, it's like 10 pages long, so I'm not going to be able to read out the whole thing. But I'll point out the most important parts, and if you want to read it on your own, the link will be in the description below. A new Pew Research Centre survey finds negative, and often overwhelmingly negative, views of the US President Taco Tuesday in regions around the globe. Across 36 nations polled, a median of 23% of adults expressed confidence in his leadership in the world affairs. In many countries, confidence in Taco Tuesday slipped since last year. Overall ratings for the United States are also largely negative. Favorable views of the country have declined in many places over the past year, including double-digit drops in Indonesia, Italy, Nigeria, South Africa, South Korea, and Turkey. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this chart now. How do people in 36 countries see the US and Taco Tuesday? Views of the US, 57% unfavorable, 37% favorable. Views of Taco Tuesday, 76% no confidence, 23% confidence. Views of the US global role. The US is a blank as a partner to other countries. Not reliable, 50%, reliable, 47%. The US contributes to peace and stability. 63% say no, not at all. 35% say yes. The US takes other countries' interest into account. 66% say no, 32% say yes. And the last one's about the personal freedom of their people. 56% says the US government doesn't respect their people and their freedom, and only 39% say they do. Now, I don't think anybody is surprised by these numbers. And, the blue part, it's only getting bigger. The last time I saw a Pew Research paper, it was slightly more balanced. But hey, as the days go by, I'm pretty sure the blue lines are going to grow bigger. Moving on. There are 7 nations in the study where majority of adults rate the US positively. The highest rating, 81 favorable, comes from Israel. Well, no surprise there. Some of the lowest ratings come from predominantly Muslim publics, such as Malaysians, Pakistanis, Turks, Palestinians, and the West Bank and the East Jerusalem. We are unable to survey in Gaza. Taco Tuesday gets mostly poor marks for his handling of the key foreign policy issues, including tariffs, Gaza, Iran, Greenland, and Russia-Ukraine war. The survey reveals striking changes over time in how people perceive the US and its role in world affairs. Now, given that I'm currently working in Malaysia, I have noticed a bit of a sentiment change when it comes to the United States. I mean, this is just feedback from people I work with in my inner circle. But when they say before they would love to go to the United States, go to Disneyland, go to Hollywood, New York, Times Square, stuff like that. Nowadays, they're saying, no, I think we're going to pass on it. I know it's just a small sample of people here locally, but I am pretty sure that the antics of the United States are being noticed here as well. Moving on. The share of public who considers the US a reliable partner has declined steeply in many countries since we last asked the question in 2022 during Joe Biden's presidency. This downturn in opinion has taken place in several nations which the US has long-standing economic and security ties. For example, in Canada, 83% described the US as a reliable partner in 2022, compared to 35% today. Large declines have also been measured in some of America's key Asia-Pacific partners. Now, going back to the Canada part first, 83% all the way down to 35%. That's huge. And I can safely say that, yeah, I probably did see them as an ally, when Biden was in office, but now not a chance. To be honest, I really want nothing to do with the United States anymore, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And this chart proves it, and I'm going to read out each country for everyone. For Sweden, on the reliability index, it went from 83% down to 31%. Not reliable, 16 to 69%. Canada, reliable, 83 to 35%. Not reliable, 16 to 65%. You know, it might just be easier for me to read out the not reliable because all the reliables have gone down except for Hungary. So for Netherlands, 11 to 59, Germany 16 to 60, Australia 20 to 63, Italy 27 to 66, Spain 30 to 68, France 36 to 71, UK 17 to 50, Poland 9 to 39, South Korea 16 to 43, Malaysia 57 to 81, Japan 23 to 41, Singapore 30 to 49, and Hungary 35 to 33. Again, what I just read out to you is each country's not reliable index from 2022 to 2026. So let me know in the comments below, was your country listed here and do you agree with the rating? Moving on, similarly, the share who think that the US take into account interests of other countries when making foreign policy decisions has declined in most nations where trends from 2023 are available. I mean, this one should be no surprise. The US administration doesn't think about anyone except themselves. They don't even think about their own citizens. But if you look on the citizen level as well, the US businesses and tourism officials and everyone that I've always featured on my channel, they don't think about anyone else except for themselves. Yeah, it might sound harsh and rude and, oh, GTL, you're bad for saying that. But like, when the hell have we ever heard, like, say, Governor Mills or a US business or any tourism official worry about what's happening north of the border, what their government's doing to us? Never. They probably don't even know that their government and their vote is hurting the rest of the world. And again, no, I'm not generalizing. I mean, if you're a US citizen watching my channel, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your fellow citizens. All right, back to the article. For instance, 60% of Germans 3 years ago said that the US considers countries' interests, but that share has dropped to 23% today. German public opinion is now similar or more negative than what measured during the George W. Bush presidency, when many people in Europe and elsewhere strongly opposed the war in Iraq and other major elements in US foreign policy. In surveys conducted in 2002 to 2007, between 27 and 53% of Germans said that the US considers the interests of countries like theirs when making foreign policy. Large decrease in shares saying that the US government respects its people's personal freedoms. Now, to save time, I'm just going to read out the does not. For Sweden, 37% to 70. Netherlands, 41 to 68. Germany, 31 to 65. Spain, 37 to 64. Canada, 37 to 62. France, 35 to 62. Italy, 30 to 60. South Korea, 22 to 48. Australia, 40 to 60, 66. Singapore, 39 to 61. UK, 37 to 57. And Greece, 43 to 59. That was tough. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I have trouble reading numbers. I mean, like 66, I might say like 600. Or 25,000, I might say 2,500. I'm definitely learning a lot about myself when I created this channel. Anyways, all the numbers are the same. I mean, if I talk about the does, they all go down. But it's unanimous that people around the world feels that the US government is restricting their citizens' freedom. I mean, it's got North Korea vibes if you ask me. And the bottom one is not North Korea. A few months ago, I had someone email me and say, do you think the rest of the world is noticing? Well, I think this chart, as well as the one I just previously showed, definitely shows that the rest of the world is watching. Now, I'm going to skip forward a little bit because there's plenty of charts I want to show everyone. This one here, where does Taco Tuesday get its highest and lowest ratings? I'll read out the no confidence column for everyone. Philippines, 29%. Israel, 33%. Nigeria, 31%. Kenya, 36%. Ghana, 33%. Hungary, 55%. Colombia, 55%. India, 36%. Sri Lanka, 51%. Peru, 61%. Brazil, 64%. Argentina, 66%. Poland, 67%. Chile, 68%. South Africa, 67%. UK, 74%. Bangladesh, 63%. Japan, 74%. South Korea, 77%. Greece, 78%. Spain, 78%. Indonesia, 78%. Canada, 79%. Thailand, 79%. Singapore, 81%. Australia, 82%. Italy, 83%. Germany, 84%. France, 84%. Netherlands, 85%. Malaysia, 87%. Pakistan, 82%. Mexico, 88%. Sweden, 89%. Turkey, 92%. West Bank, Jerusalem, 87%. Again, what I just read out was the no confidence when it comes to Taco Tuesday. But I am surprised when it comes to Philippines, Nigeria, and Kenya having over 60% confidence in Taco Tuesday. I don't understand that. I mean, do they not watch the news or see what's going on? But when it comes to Canada being at 79, I think that's about right. Because we do have our fair share of Maple MAGA who do want to actually join the United States. Now, for our international viewers, is your country listed here and do you agree with the number? Let us know in the comments below. Alright, the next session. How do ratings of Taco Tuesday compare with previous presidents? Pew Research Centre has measured international attitudes towards the US presidents over 2 decades, charting large shifts in public opinion in many regions. Findings from France, Germany, Spain, and the UK highlight some long-term trends in views of recent presidents. The latest ratings for Taco Tuesday in these four nations, while low, tend to be slightly higher at the end of his first term. That's weird. They're about equal or somewhat higher than the rating for Bush at the end of his second term. Now, you can clearly see the numbers are higher when a Democratic president is in. I mean, it's like a freaking roller coaster. But it's only showing the numbers for UK, Spain, Germany, and France. I would actually love to see Canada on here, because I believe, this is just my opinion, if Canada was on this chart, the line graph for Canada would definitely be lower than Taco Tuesday's first term. So if you're from Canada listening to this right now, let me know if you agree with this. Alright, next chart. Do people approve of how Taco Tuesday is handling major international issues? We asked respondents whether they approve or disapprove of how Taco Tuesday is dealing with 8 key global issues. At least half of adults in most countries disapprove of how he's handling each of these. I'll read out each one. International humanitarian aid. I don't think he even knows what that is. Disapprove, 56%. Approve, 37%. U.S. immigration policies. 65 disapprove, 28 approve. Venezuela, 63 disapprove, 22 approve. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine. 72 disapprove, 20% approve. Iran, 74 disapprove, 20% approve. The conflict in Gaza, 76 disapprove, 18% approve. Tariffs, 77 disapprove, 18% approve. And Greenland, 68% disapprove and 14% approve. The one I'm actually surprised about is the US immigration policies, only at 65%. But then again, a lot of people around the world are not going to the United States, so they're not experiencing what's happening when it comes to like visas or ESTAs or CBP or ICE. Alright, moving on, because I do have a few more charts I want to show. This next one. Do people around the world view the US favorably or unfavorably? Let me break this one down and I'll read out the unfavorable column. Canada, 66%. Hungary, 38%. Poland, 43%. UK, 59%. No, that's 58%. Greece, 60%. Italy, 69%. Spain, 67%. France, 70%. Germany and Netherlands, 71%. Sweden, 80%. Philippines, 41%. Japan, 50%. India, 31%. South Korea, 55%. Sri Lanka, 40%. Thailand, 63%. Singapore, 66%. Indonesia, 70%. Bangladesh, 63%. Australia, 76%. Malaysia, 80%. Pakistan, 81%. Israel, only 19%. But then again, not a surprise. Turkey, 84%. West Bank, Jerusalem, 81%. Ghana, 22%. Nigeria, 32%. Kenya, 35%. South Africa, 55%. Colombia, 35%. Peru, 38%. Brazil, 43%. Argentina, 44%. Excuse me. Mexico, 55%. And Chile, 53%. Overall, there is a noticeable trend. Although I do wonder why the Philippines still has a favorable view of the United States. I don't know. I don't know much about the Philippines, to be honest. Now, this next one. Confidence in world leaders across 36 countries surveyed. I'll read out the no confidence column for everyone. Macron, 46%. Zelensky, 52%. Xi Jinping, 53%. Putin, 65%. Taco Tuesday, 76%. Netanyahu, 74%. Now, sit back and think about this for a minute. The world, not just, think outside of Canada. The world has more confidence in Putin than Taco Tuesday, the leader of the quote-unquote best country in the world. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't put Kim Jong-un on here, because I kind of want to see what the world thinks when it comes to like North Korea and the United States. But let me know your comments below. Do you trust Putin over Taco Tuesday? Last one I want to show. Does the US contribute to peace and stability? A median of 35% of adults across the 37 nations polled think the US contributes a great deal or fair amount to peace and stability around the world. Now, I'm not going to read this one out because everything on the chart, it's all the same for each country. Every country listed here, the not much at all in terms of like contributing to peace and stability, has gone up. Uh-oh, someone decided to wake up. You might hear it in the background now. But when the question was asked whether the United States contributed to peace and stability, the opinion of yes has basically pummeled. I don't know how anybody could actually say that the US has contributed to peace and stability when they're threatening to annex Canada, they're threatening to annex Greenland, they're invading Venezuela, they're crippling Cuba, and they're starting a war in the Middle East for absolutely no reason. But even on their home soil, they're arresting their own citizens, they're killing their own citizens, they're putting restrictions on everything. I mean, did you even hear that they arrested somebody for like touching the green slime in the reflection pool? And Taco Tuesday blaming it on like the Democrats. Like how do you figure that? But every part of the chaos that I just listed out is because of these people here. And they were put there by these people here. But the damage that has been caused by these people on the screen right now, I am glad that the world is noticing. And the downfall of the United States, their soft power, it's not going to recover as fast as they think it is. I mean, it's not going to be like COVID, it's not going to be like 9/11, or any other hurricane or natural disaster. So all of the charts that I showed you in this video, I do hope it answers the questions for any viewers wondering if the international community is noticing or not. And the answer is yes. The numbers are right here, and Taco Tuesday can't lie about these numbers. Now, I wasn't able to show all of the charts and graphs and things like that, so I do highly encourage that if you want to continue reading this, the link will be in the description below. Now, I want to move on to a bit of an update and a follow-up on a video that I did a while ago. It was an interview with Evan from Art Manufacturing, and he gave me a bit of an update, and one of our viewers from Australia. Well, let me read this out for everyone. One more that might be worth mentioning is that we had one of your subscribers from Australia purchase a couple sets of products and requested them to be donated to a local children's charity. We are going to donate them to the BGC South here in Kingston, as they expressed interest for their summer program starting soon, and we will bulk it out with additional supplies. Well, thanks to our Australian viewer, as well as Art Manufacturing, what you're seeing on the screen right now is going to the BGC Southeast, formerly the Boys and Girls Club of Kingston, and they'll be receiving it just in time for the summer season. So I do want to take this time to thank my Australian viewer, whoever you are, for contributing to a kids camp that is halfway around the world from you. I mentioned in my walk and talk video that it really moved me, and it still does. And it made me realize that this GTL community is not just viewers to my channel, it is a real community. There have been times where I felt like I wanted to give up and just take a break, or even step away from the channel. But it's times like this that made me realize that I'm doing more than just creating videos. So to whoever my Australian viewer is, I sincerely thank you. And to Evan and Art Manufacturing, I also sincerely appreciate you helping to top up the donation as well. And to all the viewers who also did purchase from Art Manufacturing, you all contributed to this as well. Because what we did is we helped a Canadian company, and this Canadian company gave back as well. Now, if you are still looking for art supplies, the Guard to Leave promo code will be active till the end of this month, so there's not much time left. So if you are looking for art supplies, you can head to try-art.ca and use the promo code GTL25 to get 25% off. So again, if you're looking to buy a birthday present or a gift for anybody, or you need to top up on your paint supplies, I would advise you to do it quickly. To close off this video and staying within Kingston, I would like to thank Lady Cleggan. I know I mispronounced it again. I don't watch Game of Thrones, and I know you've told me on the Discord server multiple times, but I just forgot. But I want to thank Lady Cleggan for sending this photo of Crawford Wharf in Kingston, Ontario. I really appreciate you posting this, as well as helping Josh and I to moderate the Discord server, along with our other moderators as well. Alright everyone, that's it for this video. It went on a little bit longer than I expected, but if you're still here watching, I really appreciate you staying till the end, because it really does help the algorithm. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international point of view, without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you'll be notified of my future videos. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all as well. Now, if you want to see more of my videos, check out the ones that are going to show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.